Hey everyone, welcome to a new video here on SaaS Solopreneur. I know what it's like to be a solopreneur, especially in SaaS, and today I'm going to show you a reality. The reality is that your customers don't know what they're talking about. This is why I go so hard about it, guys, in the videos, or excuse me, in the book. For those who are not familiar, in the link of every description of my videos, I have this ebook that I'm selling that essentially teaches people, it's a workbook, if you will, that teaches people how to actually be successful in SaaS from a psychological standpoint. And I'm sharing this today because this is a screenshot from a customer in my SaaS, one of my SaaS softwares. I have many SaaS products that I kind of want to share with you, right? A lot of the times, like even in the book, I mentioned this. I said, the reality is your customers don't care about you. Your customers don't give a damn about you. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about your business. And they have no form of acceptance. They have no form of resolve, if you will. If you're in the SaaS world is just like any other world in business. You're there to sell your product, and you are the priority. You have to keep yourself the priority. In an effort to keep yourself a priority and keep making money, you have to put a great product forward, and you have to keep doing business. But there is a world to SaaS. This is kind of the ugly truth, if you will, that exists. And the ugly truth that exists, when people might get a little frustrated when I mention at times that I never offer products for free in my SaaS businesses, and I don't recommend that you do the same thing either, because I feel like you're just wasting resources. The reality is people will exploit you. That's human nature. They will take advantage of you. That's human nature. And no, I'm not jaded, because once again, you got to read my book to really understand where I'm coming from on this. But I'm going to give you guys a quick example. All right. So I had this customer that emailed us, okay? And now I've erased some of the content here so that I can protect the niche, protect the identity of the business, things like that. But the customer basically emails us and say, hey, it's not working. The product doesn't work. Now, we help them solve it on a different forum, okay? But we had a person reach out to them and say, hey, we saw that it was confirmed and that it works. Thank you. That's basically what we said. We weren't asking them to confirm. We were basically telling them, hey, we know that you fixed it. And the reason why we say that is because the issue that this person had was not something related to our software. It was because their account was down. So to give you guys some kind of, I guess you could say insight, this app is kind of like an AI agent tool. Okay, in order for it to work properly, you need an API key from OpenAI or Claude or something like that. You need some sort of API key, right? That's how our app works. And it's an AI agent tool. That's what it does. So that's what the customer's problem was. Effectively, they didn't pay for credits on their OpenAI account in this case. And so on a different forum, we helped them figure it out. And so we wanted to reply to them on something. This is my point here, is they put out this email saying that the tool doesn't work, and then they give us this review, right? Immediately, they give us this review. Now, this review here, I'll read it for you. It might be a little bit too small for you to read it. I just took a screenshot. 1 star. Once again, I erased everything that could potentially expose what niche we're in, but it says, the person reviewed and gave us a 1 star out of 5 and says, it doesn't work. There's no way to contact anyone. I suppose it's a scam. Very disappointing. Do not purchase this. Money out the window. Now, that's what they say after they purchase. All right. Now, mind you, they put this review out immediately after the first email that they sent us. We helped them get their solution fixed in a different forum, because right after they sent this email, they went to a different forum, asked there, and then we helped them. So then we had somebody reply, and we said, hey, we saw that it all worked out for you. At this point in time, we didn't even mention the email, the 1 star review. We didn't mention it. We acted like we didn't know it was there. Of course we knew it was there, but we didn't act like it. So then they answer back and they say, yep, we made it work. I added enough credits for the API key. It works now. Sometimes it does this thing where every 10th or so, it doesn't do the right job or whatever. And so we answered back and we said, can you please remove your review stating that the product was a scam, ? So now notice how we're exposing them on, or this customer on, essentially, you asked for help, you didn't give any time, you immediately gave a 1-star review. By the way, it was an issue that you did. You failed not to read the documentation, the instructions. When we helped you anyway, very promptly and very quickly, you made it all work, but you still kept the review up. So we asked them, like I said, to take the review down and not say the product was a scam, right? Then they say, oh, I thought I did. I replaced it with a good review. I'll double check. Sorry about that. I've been scammed so many times. It wouldn't be surprising, you know? And so we reply once again after a few hours later and says, hi, unfortunately, it's not changed, as the review is not changed. Why am I mentioning this? Why am I showing this? The reality is that this is a perfect example of the soul-sucking customers that you're going to deal with. This is a perfect reality. Is that in the SaaS world, the first thing that you truly have to understand is that nobody is really out here trying to write positive reviews for your business. You have to think of the incentivization, right? We have customers literally all the time. I'm talking like every 20 minutes, I'm probably getting some sort of customer from some sort of SaaS product that I have created on multiple different websites. Okay, that's not an exaggeration. I'm being 100% realistic. And when we get a customer, right, the customer, you have to think the only reason they're paying you for the product that you're selling is because they want to make whatever kind of outcome that product promises, right? And in a moment, they feel that the payment that they're making is worth less than the product that you're offering. Because if they felt that the money that they're holding on to is worth more, they would never buy your product in the first place. That's something you have to understand. That's like basic psychology 101, right? It's a value exchange. You're taking their money and you're giving them something of more value, which in this case is your product. And for us, it's our SaaS, software as a service. Now, what happens is in between this is that you have these companies that get a total ton of reviews, positive reviews at that. And you have to understand that 99% of the time, it's either incentivized or it's fake, which really comes down to the same thing, is that it's not completely legitimate. If a consumer was happy with the product, it's a very rare circumstance where they're going to go out of their way to give you a positive review. They look at it like a fair trade. Why on earth would I give this person something extra, a 5-star review, a good review to help their business? Meanwhile, I paid for this product. You know, it's a fair review. I give them my money, or a fair exchange. I give them my money, I get the product. Why would I go out of my way to give them that positive review? This is, once again, this ties into the whole mentality that I wrote in the book, and I'll leave the book in the description that you can order on Amazon, talking about how the truth is that sales and SaaS is a psychological play. You're not going to be able to win your customers' hearts. They don't give a damn about you. You have to be able to make your money and get the hell out of this game, because you're going to deal with soul-sucking customers like this. You help the customer. The customer, it was completely their fault on the mistake that they're making. Okay? They didn't read the instructions. They failed to pay attention to anything. When we do help them and we address their need very quickly, they still choose not to fix the review. If they fix the review, I get an email immediately saying, hey, so-and-so changed their review to this, and it shows the review. But see, there's no motivation for the customer to do that. They don't care. This is, once again, why some people might say to me, why are you so harsh in your book on customers? Why are you so harsh? Why don't you give leeway? Why? Because I've dealt with this millions and millions and millions of times. When you build SaaSes, when you build products, when you sell customers on products, you get to a point where you kind of understand that person in front of you, especially if you're in multiple different niches the way I am. And what we tend to see is that there's some human nature type defaults, okay? And there are some people that are genuinely good people, and there are some people who are not. And unfortunately, the majority of people in this world today are not good people. That's the majority. And so if you think you're going to go out of your way and offer a freemium product or a free trial, and you think that customers are genuinely going to care, they don't. They're there to take advantage of your product, and they're there to move on. This is a perfect example of the type of identity of consumer that I do not want to be my customer. I would never offer them a free trial. Guys, I want to put things in perspective if you don't know. Like I said, we helped them fix their problem. They admitted to fixing their problem. We called them out on their scam review. They said it was a scam, right? And when they were called out on it, they said, oh, I changed it. But they never changed it. And they never had the intention to change it. And they never will change it. Because there is darkness and negativity within them. Now imagine you go out of your way, and this same type of customer, you go out there, you offer them a free trial before they buy their product. You know what they're going to do? They're going to use and abuse your product for free. And then when it comes time for you to finally offer something paid, they're not going to give a damn. They're not going to buy your product for charity. They already took everything they wanted off of you, right? They already got the milk off the cow. They don't give a damn about the cow. To hell with the cow. They don't give a damn. So my point here is that when you're in SaaS, the first thing you need to master is human psychology. You have to understand how people think, and you have to use it against them to be able to generate a profit. That sounds bad, but it's the truth. There are a lot of SaaS people who are new to the game that are following archaic rules. They're looking at a company like Netflix offering a 7-day or 14-day free trial. They copy their system. Next thing you know, they haven't made any money, and they're screwed. They don't know how to make money in SaaS. There's a lot of developers out there. There's no shortage of developers, but there's a ton of developers who are out of work, who are not making enough money. They try to build their own app and they get absolutely nowhere. Not because of the technology. The technology might be phenomenal. It might be perfect, but it's because they can't get customers. Part of getting customers is a two-sided coin, right? One side of the coin is marketing, how to get the word out there, but another side is psychology. You have to learn how to play the game. And some people might call me Machiavellian because I look at things this way. But the truth is I see it as it is. As it is a reality. There is like literally nobody out there who cannot see it my way and make money online. You just can't. Human beings are not designed to be kind, equitable people. They're just not. You think that people are going to play fair and be your customer out of fairness? Of course not. The truth is, in the world of SaaS, you have to understand, like I said, how to play the game. And the good thing the customer doesn't know here is that the reviews don't actually show publicly. Her review won't show publicly ever. Okay? And the reason why is because, once again, customers are not incentivized to ever give you positive reviews unless you're offering something that's going to cost you some sort of money to give it to them, right? That's just the truth when it comes down to SaaS. So the only time you're really getting a review is if somebody's truly an angel, 1 out of a million, where they come across your product, they really enjoyed it, and out of thanks, they want to give you a positive review. Or you have all the other people who are just angry for some sort of reason, just like a customer like this who didn't know what they were doing, didn't read instructions, didn't know what the hell they were doing, and before they even could find a solution, just wrote it off as a scam and complained. That's all they're going to do. So once again, if you're a seller in SaaS, if you exist in the SaaS world, you're trying to make money, whether you've made a little bit of money or you're about to get started, you haven't made any money, you have to understand how human beings think. And unfortunately, most people are going to be rudely awakened when they truly understand human nature. That is the absolute truth. And so in order for you to save yourself from that issue, I want you to click the link in the description, go to Amazon, get my book. Leave the link in the description. It's a workbook. It's going to teach you how to understand sales SaaS psychology. You're going to understand people. You're going to understand the truth. I even share a story in there of when I was green in the SaaS world. I was so new in the SaaS world. It's not even funny, and I got ripped off so bad, guys. I can't even explain to you. But hey, all of that's water under the bridge. That's why I am where I am today, completely financially free, telling all my stories in SaaS and teaching, more importantly, on this SaaS channel. So this is a new endeavor for me, creating these YouTube videos in SaaS, creating all these kind of stuffs. But my main thing is making money online. That's my thing. I've been in that world now, and I know how to do it for a very long time. So this channel exists for you, the SaaS solopreneur out there that's doing this. You're green, you're new to the industry, you're not sure what to do. I'm telling you, you got to watch my channel, you got to watch my content, you got to buy my book. And the reason why I'm saying buy my book is not because I'm trying to shill some $9.99 book. I don't need the money. It is because you need to learn these things that are what I call kind of exclusive. if I shared the truth on how I see things, my YouTube channel would probably be taken down for lack of political correctness, and that's the truth. But the truth of where I go on my book and I share some of my stories, it's a little bit more a lot more straightforward, and I could speak a lot more honestly there. So hopefully this video helps you out. I'll talk to you guys later, but this is just a thing that I deal with pretty much every day. Not necessarily a bad review, but you deal with all kinds of people, all kinds of characters. And I remember, guys, when I first created these SaaS products years ago, when I was first getting into this whole world, I was dealing with customer service on my own. I was dealing with people on my own. I learned and I hate to use this word, but I was red-pilled in a way. I took the red pill. I learned the truth about how people actually behave, the way they see you, the way they see your products, the way their true mentality. And honestly, I hate to say this, but a lot of people are like hyenas in this business. I'm telling you, a lot of people are like hyenas. It's this attack and all for me kind of approach. I can take whatever I want. And the truth is building a product is hard enough. But building a product and getting out to the masses is even harder. But building a product, getting it to the masses, and making a profit and taking home the profit, and then finally creating financial freedom for yourself, that just doesn't happen off of one or two products. You know, most people who create these really big SaaS products that are generating millions of dollars in revenue, or heck, even hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands a month, those people are 1 in a million. The reality is, with your story, is you're probably going to go product by product, month by month, 1,000 after another 1,000 after another 1,000, slowly accumulating, slow with the gradual progression, and succeeding at a moderate level. And you're going to have to mitigate issues like this. So get my book, read my book. I'll talk to you guys later. And this is just a personal story I'm sharing with you guys, all right? That literally happened today. So I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.